What if I told you that soldiers on the front lines weren't eating what you see in movies? No steaming bowls of soup every day, no endless canned meat. Their real menu was much more brutal and much more interesting. On the front line, food is not about taste. It's just fuel to keep your hands steady and your body moving. A good day is when the supply truck actually makes it through and you get something hot to eat. A bad day: cold cans, dry bread, and trying to heat whatever you can on a tiny burner if you even have gas and time for that. During the Second World War, food for a soldier was never just food. It was energy, hope, and sometimes the only comfort left. On the Eastern Front, a simple loaf of black bread could feel sacred. Daily rations of bread in the Red Army could reach up to 1 kilogram, but this was not soft bakery bread. It was heavy, dark, often underbaked, sometimes mixed with fillers and substitutes just to stretch the floor. A small cube of sugar could be saved for days, broken into tiny pieces and shared between comrades, dissolved slowly in a metal mug of weak tea or hidden away like a personal treasure. Many veterans later said that what they remembered most was not only the sound of artillery or the cold in the trenches, but the taste of that frontline bread and the moment they shared a single piece of sugar with a friend who might not live to see the next day. This is a ration. In the Army, the word ration simply means the official daily portion of food for one soldier. The letter K came from the name of its designer, the American physiologist Ancel Keys. The ration was never meant to be a full, long-term diet. It was designed as a compact emergency ration for paratroopers and special units to be used for a few days, not for weeks or months. Inside there were dry crackers, a small tin of processed cheese or meat, a powdered drink, a chocolate bar, chewing gum, and even cigarettes with matches. On paper, it looked efficient and modern. In reality, many frontline units were fed gay rations far longer than planned. The portions were too small, the calories were not enough, and soldiers began to lose weight and strength. Some joked that Key stood for cardboard because the food felt as hard and tasteless as the box. So while the ration became a symbol of American logistics, for many men at the front it also became a symbol of constant hunger. For many soldiers, cigarettes and chocolate were not just treats. They were a way to calm the nerves, to feel a little bit human in the middle of the war. In American rations, small packs of cigarettes and a bar of chocolate were often included on purpose. Commanders knew that a sweet taste or a quick smoke could lift morale better than any speech. On the front lines, these items even became a kind of quiet currency. A man who didn't smoke could trade his cigarettes for extra food, a favor, or a warmer place to sleep. Chocolate could buy you an extra can of meat, or help you make a new friend in a strange unit. For hungry and exhausted soldiers, these little luxuries were sometimes worth more than money. In World War I, food could literally kill you. Both sides used deception. There were documented cases where soldiers found perfectly good enemy rations, cans, chocolate, biscuits that turned out to be traps. Sometimes the food was poisoned. Sometimes it was booby-trapped with small explosives. And sometimes it was simply contaminated on purpose, left to rot where starving men were most likely to find it. Imagine being so hungry that your hands shake and still having to ask yourself, is this food a gift? Or a weapon? On the front lines, survival wasn't just about finding something to eat. It was about knowing when not to eat. During the last years of the war, real flour became a luxury. In many places, people didn't eat bread, they ate something that only looked like it. To stretch the rations, bakeries and field kitchens mixed in anything they could find: oil cake from crushed seeds, coarse bran, husks, and sometimes even cellulose, and finely ground wood. The result was a dark, heavy brick they still called bread. It was almost impossible to chew, it barely had any nutrition, but it filled the stomach for a few hours. Soldiers and civilians weren't eating to enjoy food. They were simply trying to trick their own bodies into surviving one more day. For us it looks unreal, almost impossible, but for millions of people during the war, this wasn't a story, it was daily life. What would you feel if this was the only bread on your table? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more real, untold moments from wartime history, subscribe so you don't miss the next videos.